All right, everybody, and welcome to the start of our spring semester. I want to just make a quick little video to show you, hopefully it's quick, to show you how to get in, log in, and submit your work in MyLab. So your first MyLab homework assignment is open. Hopefully you've enrolled in our MyLab section, and that homework assignment is due on Sunday by midnight. So let me share my screen with you. And what you're looking at here is our Canvas website. And so if we go into the modules, you can see the general information module has kind of the general information. Here is a module called Getting Started, which has information about the syllabus, and kind of had a little video of me walking through the syllabus and what might be really important. If you haven't already registered for MyLab, check out this video about how to get started in MyLab. I'm going to assume you've done that already. And here's some information about the Google Colab homework that you have due as well. But here's the content for week 1. So here are the lecture slides for the first 3 sections that we covered this week. And there's a YouTube playlist with videos of me walking through those slides. And down below are your assignments. So here's a Python lab, which is due not this Tuesday, but a week from today, next Tuesday. And here's the MyLab assignment. So if I click on this link over here, it's going to take me over into the assignment in Canvas. Okay, but this work is in MyLab. So the Canvas assignment just has a link here, which is going to take you over to MyLab. So when I click on that link, now I'm in the what's called I call it MyLab. It used to be called MyLab. I realize now it's called MyLab. So I will try and fix that. It's called MyLab Math. And so I'm assuming that you've already registered for our class. So that means you have an account. So you would sign in on your account. And I am using the Chrome browser. I would recommend using that. And if you've gotten some warnings, just be sure that you have enabled pop-ups from this website, since the questions are going to appear in pop-up windows. So depending on if you have other classes, just be sure you log into our course. So here's what our course looks like. Right now, you're looking at the instructor view. So let me change this to the student view. So there's a bunch of links. Mainly what is most important to get at right now is how to open your homework assignments, how to print out your homework assignments, and how to submit your work. So we've got the first homework assignment is due on January 23rd, and that is down here. And as we open up more assignments, you'll see more assignments listed down here, and you'll be able to access your old assignments as well. So here is the assignment. So this assignment has 24 questions. So far, I've got question 1 correct, questions 2 and 3 I didn't get correct. So you can see kind of your score getting tallied over here. On this assignment, on each question, you have 5 attempts to get it correct. So whether you get it right on your first attempt or on your very last attempt, you'll get full credit. And the way that you submit work is by clicking on one of these questions and working on it. What I would highly recommend is not working on MyLab just when you're sitting in front of a computer. While you're here in front of the computer, you've got emails coming in, you've got text messages coming in, you're checking the news, you're checking your social media, a lot of distractions. So I would highly recommend going in and printing out this assignment. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to just click on, say, question 4. Question 4 is multiple choice question. And then we have 4 options over here. So this is an easy one. I can kind of click on the box and choose my answer, and then click on the bottom to check my answer. But what I'd like to highlight is how to print out this assignment. So if I come over here to this little box, there's an option, and this is a really nice pro tip here. So I click on the little widget over here, and there's an option to print, as well as some other options that you might find helpful. So I'm going to print this. And the option is to print this question or to print the entire homework assignment. So I would encourage you to go ahead and print this out. whether it's to a PDF or whether it's to a paper copy, just some way that you can have this assignment, the problems on this assignment, so you can work on them offline. And now this prints out all of them. So now I have the full homework assignment here. And you can see the questions that I've already answered. My answers are appearing. The questions that I got wrong, I can see that appearing. So you can print this out before you submit things. You can print it out intermediately, and you can print it out at the very end if you want to see all of your answers. So I would recommend having a paper copy of this and then working on your assignment on paper. So writing out your work rather than just typing things in a box. And here's why it's really important. You're very likely to make some mistakes on these problems, and that's okay. You have multiple submissions to get it right. And what is most important, your success in this class, is not going to be what do you do when you get things wrong, when you get things right, but how do you respond when you get things wrong? So when you get a problem wrong, it's really nice to know why you got it wrong. What was your first answer? Why was that wrong? What was your second answer? Why was that correct? And so on. So if you're just entering things in MyLab and then getting it wrong and then trying to pop in another answer right away, you're kind of losing track of your learning process. What was my first attempt? That was wrong. Why was that wrong? Was it a small error? Was it a big error? Let me try and diagnose it. So this is really in your hands. With big power comes big responsibility. How are you going to handle the responsibility of correcting your own work? And I think the more seriously you invest time in correcting your own work, the more you're going to get out of this. But now you've got this full homework assignment. I would have your work on paper, or if you want to type it up or whatever, someplace where you can have the assignment and your work nicely organized as if you are handing this in on paper. The only difference is rather than hand in your work on paper, you're going to type all of your answers into MyLab, and MyLab is going to give you immediate feedback, and then you'll be able to change and correct your answers, which you wouldn't do if you just handed in a static paper copy. So that's my suggestion to you. So let's kind of see, okay, I printed out my assignment and now I'm working on these problems offline on paper, tracking my progress. Then I'm ready to enter some of my work in. So let's pick out a good problem here. I removed the assignment, but let me take a look at this full assignment again. And let me pick a problem that might be, yeah, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and look at problem 13 in this assignment. And so one thing that's useful to see is over here, you can see what problem this is from the textbook. So I can see question 4 on this assignment is from section 1.1, and it's question 27. So I think the section numbers are going to be really important. I would recommend looking at the material that I posted for section 1.1 and then working on the homework problems for section 1.1 before moving on to section 1.2. The material we do in section 1.2 is going to depend on the content that we learned in section 1.1. So the goal here is not to do the entire assignment in one sitting, but you can work on a couple problems and then log off. You can work on a couple more the next day and log off. So do a little bit every day will be a better investment of your time, I believe. Okay. So let's kind of scroll through. You can see that a lot of these problems are multiple choice, so they shouldn't take you too long. It seems like there's a lot of problems. Some of them are short problems. Some of them are going to be a little bit longer. So here are some examples that might take a little bit longer. So here we're given a matrix, augmented matrix for some system, and based on the form of this matrix, we're asked to say something about the solutions. So if I think I know how to do this problem, then I'm going to go in and just type an answer. So I'm going to say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. And now the check answer button is active. I can click check my answer, and it's saying, nope, that is not correct. Try something else. So this is where I would say, okay, there's the game in MyLab where I can just, quickly change some buttons, some numbers around and see if I get it right. And once I get it right, be happy and move on to the next problem. But if you're not really registering why your answer was wrong and how to correct it, you're really not going to get much out of this homework. And that's going to catch up to you on exams, for example. So if you got this wrong, try and correct your work. If you can't see why your first submission was incorrect, they have some helpful things down here. So there's an option for help me solve this. And this kind of goes through some questions about the concepts involved in this problem. It'll review some of those. You can view a similar example, and going through this, you can kind of take some notes and then try and apply this method to your answer. Okay, and so if these help if view an example, help me solve this doesn't help, please reach out to help for me. There's an option here about Ask My Instructor. I would just prefer that you send me an email, but you're welcome to do this Ask My Instructor. And I think rather than just keep on randomly guessing at things, it's going to be a better investment of your time and mine if we go through it together to make sure you understand the concept. So please don't hesitate to reach out for help. But I tried one answer, it wasn't right. So let me try another one. That was not right. Okay, that was attempt number 2. Here's attempt number 3. That is not correct. And keep in mind that when I clicked on these help me solve this and view an example problems, it used up some attempts. So now I'm on my final attempt, and let me try finally doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is my final check. And now I can see that I didn't get this one right. It gave me the correct answer. But now let's move on to the next question. So you're going to submit these one by one by one. And again, it's real easy to game this system. Here's a question. I haven't even read it. I'm going to check the answer. I got that right. Okay. Right. So you could certainly get that right on multiple choice questions. That one is not correct. With multiple choice questions, keep in mind, you don't have unlimited attempts. You have 5 attempts on problems where you're entering numeric things. Here's a question which is multiple choice. You don't get 5 attempts on this because there's only 4 options, but you do get a second attempt to try and get it right. And I didn't get it right on that one. So that's how it goes. And so you're going to submit things one by one. It's real easy to fall into the pitfall of doing everything online and not having a record of any of your work. And what I'm really trying to instill in you is work on this as if you were handing it in on paper. The more serious time you invest in correcting your own mistakes, the deeper this learning is going to go, and you're going to do really well on the exams. If you're just randomly guessing, plugging in things, finding out that you get it right and not understanding why and moving on to the next problem, although you might be getting good scores on your homeworks, that's not going to help you on the exams. So if you are having any technical issues with MyLab, please send me an email. Please come by office hours, and I'm happy to help you with that. Otherwise, happy homework hunting, working, and if you have any questions about the content, please don't hesitate to reach out. Hope you guys are having a nice week of classes, and I will be in touch.